In the world of gaming, June is typically seen of as that time of year that is just full of surprises, and while this year is probably no different, there are quite a lot of games and updates that we are already aware of. So I've chucked them all together into a list and we're going to run through them in this video, but first, why don't we cover probably the most important time of the year for Xbox fans. This video is brought to you by The Watchers. Kicking off at 6 PM BST, that's British summertime by the way, now you know, on the 9th of June, the Xbox Game Showcase promises to give gamers a look at some of the most exciting titles on the horizon, from those we already know about to some brand new reveals. And just like last year, which was followed up by that Starfield Direct, we are also getting a bonus show right after the main one ends, during which Call of Duty Black Ops 6 is going to be revealed for the very first time. We already know it's coming day one to Game Pass, so I'm just excited to hear more about it and see what it looks like. I'd love to know though what you guys are looking forward to hearing about in the main show, so drop them down in the comments and we'll be doing reactions, breakdowns, general excitement right here on Xbox On, so hit the bell and get all the notifications you need so you're literally not the last person on earth to hear about it. Alright? Okay, showcase out the way now. Let's move on to games that are arriving this June, starting with one that defied space and time to be here. The 1980s cult classic horror movie turned asymmetrical multiplayer game, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. It's following in those footsteps of games similar to Dead by Daylight and Friday 13th, where you're going to be pitting survivors against the killer clowns in a nerve-wracking multiplayer experience. The clowns are going to get an arsenal of intergalactic weapons to unleash upon their targets, while the humans, unfortunately, they're just going to have to figure it out themselves because, you know, they're up against actual weapons. It's quite interesting though, because for a game that's asymmetrical, this one's actually a 3 versus 7 scenario. Bit more unbalanced, I suppose, than games like Dead by Daylight where it's 1v4, but I kind of like the idea of that, so we'll see how it goes. If you're a bit impatient and you do want to get straight into it and not have to wait for the June 4th release, then if you pre-order the game right now, you can actually play it immediately, so that's quite cool. I may butcher the name of this one. It's Shin Megami Tensei 5, and it's back with a vengeance on the 14th. It's a critically acclaimed JRPG that returns with a brand new storyline, some stunning new visuals, new locations to explore, and, of course, new demons to conquer. You play as this ordinary high schooler who finds himself suddenly transported to this extraordinary realm that's rife with magic, monsters, and imminent apocalypses? Apocalypse. Just figure it out in the comments. The important thing is that it's up to you to stop it by fusing demons together and unleashing their powers in tactical, turn-based battles. If you're in the mood for more demon battling action from across the Shin Megami Tensei verse, Persona 3 Reload is available now on Xbox Game Pass, and a brand new title called Metaphor Refantatio is on the way later this year. Both made by Atlas, I think, so you know the quality is going to be banging on those. If you love 90s cartoons, hate vampires, probably should do that, and feel kind of indifferent about field hockey, first up, We Should Meet for a Pint, and secondly, #Blood might just be the game for you. It's arriving on the 18th, and it's a zany dungeon crawler that puts you in the shoes of the new kid in town, who just so happens to be the latest in a line of legendary vampire hunters. Combing the local social media activity for clues, it's up to you to root out the ghouls that have infested your new home using your trusty, highly upgradable hockey stick. The art style really just brings back those warm memories of watching Saturday morning cartoons, and you know what, the energetic vampire slapping combat just looks like loads of fun. #Blood, that's probably one that I can't wait to sink my teeth into. Fancy a day one Game Pass drop? Well, on the 18th, we're getting a game called Still Wakes the Deep, and it's a first-person horror game that takes place on an oil rig in the North Sea where things are going pretty badly, actually. There's a huge storm that's blowing the place apart, all lines of communication have been severed, and it seems to be something lurking in the shadows. Not a very nice something either, by the looks of it. All told, it just looks like an absolutely skin-crawling experience with ray-traced effects on the Xbox Series X to add just a little bit of extra eeriness to the whole thing. Yeah, like it really needed that. To keep the summer sizzling, we've got some massive expansions on the way to some of our favourite games, and quite a lot of them are on Game Pass. We are already a little bit of the way into Fortnite Season 5 Chapter 3 Wrecked, which does include a brand new battle pass, some cool new Fallout content, and a new Wasteland area for you to fight in. And we've also just started Season 4 of Call of Duty, which has brought in buyback solos, there's a new Black Cell battle pass, and Gundam is on the way. Sick. We can all think of summertime as slasher season, so it kind of makes sense that Dead by Daylight is going to open up its new chapter on the 3rd. And it's a Dungeons & Dragons inspired update that's going to add a new killer in the shape of Vecna. He's a powerful lich who can just fly around the map chucking spells at people, so good luck with that. Then on June 4th, the final shape is going to take Destiny 2 players to an impossible landscape that bends time and space, which kind of sounds like a great place to grab a few holiday pictures, I suppose. It's also the final chapter in the game's decade-long Light and Darkness saga, so whichever way it ends, I expect it to be pretty spectacular. On top of that, the final shape adds in a game-changing new prismatic subclass, which lets players mix and match light and dark abilities, as well as a fancy new grenade that combines the two. As always, there's some big things happening in the world of Fallout 76 as well, with a major new update called Skyline Valley on the way this month, along with the game's 17th season. God, time flies. It actually kicks off with a gold rush on the 6th, which is an ideal chance for players to line their pockets before Skyline Valley takes them into the eye of a lightning storm, where there's going to be electrical ghouls and giant robot brains around. Pretty typical for a wasteland, I suppose. I'm buzzing for this one. It's an update for the Elder Scrolls Online, and it's got a brand new Daedric Prince in it, which might not mean a lot to some of you guys who've never played the game before, but trust me, that's massive. And all of this is happening by way of a brand new chapter called Gold Road that's hitting Xbox on the 18th. And by the way, it is the 10-year celebration currently for ESO. There's loads of in-game events happening over the next few months, so check it out right now on Xbox Game Pass and get celebrating with us. As for this new update, well, it's bringing in a new system called scribing that gives players way more freedom in how to customize their playstyle. You basically get to design your own spells now, which is really cool. We're going to be dropping a video that covers lots more about the Elder Scrolls Online Gold Road pretty soon, so if you want to hear more about that, hit the subscribe bell, leave a like, comment what class you're going to run for it as well. I'll bet you're fuming that you got all the way through this video and we haven't talked about this one yet, but it's time. Elden Ring. On June 21st, Shadow of the Erdtree is going to begin a brand new tale set in the extremely ominous sounding Land of Shadows. This is a new map and it's going to feature new weapons and equipment for players to incorporate into their finely tailored builds, and of course new enemies and bosses that are just going to ruin your day. So I don't know, maybe have a good night's sleep beforehand. It's worth remembering that Shadow of the Erdtree is the first piece of Elden Ring DLC, and it's also going to be the last, so you can expect From Software are going to go all out on this one, so be afraid. Be very afraid. This video was brought to you by The Watchers. This terrifying new movie follows Dakota Fanning's Mina, who gets stranded in a forest. She finds shelter, but becomes trapped with 3 strangers and realizes she may be in even more trouble than she first realized, thanks to the bizarre creatures who stalk them every night. Uncover the mysteries of who or what the Watchers are and what their purpose is when the movie comes only to cinemas on June 7th.
In my office, there's a metal box full of documents. Destroy everything you find. Watchers, they can see right through you. No human should ever come to this place.
No one leaves. That is the rule.
The Watchers, June 7th, rated PG-13.
Okay, well, that's everything that I know about June so far, but who knows how Summer Games Fest and the showcase, of course, might shake things up. So make sure you subscribe and ring the bell to hear all about those. We'll see you in the next one. Bye!